Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of The Cloudy Vape. In this video I'm super excited to show you this. This is the Soter tank, the CB tank Soter by Ceravapes. Now if you remember, I did a ceramic kind of a ego threaded 1.2, what was it? I think 1.2 ohms. So this is closer to like a 0.5 ohm. It's reading at about 0.48. But what they're doing in this, they're basically taking your 1.2 ohms, or they're taking the the higher ohm coils, and they're actually cramming 3 ceramic wicks in here. So you have 3 coil heads in here. The only thing I would say before I get into all of this, this is not on their website yet. This is not on the market yet or anything. I don't know how much this is going to go for. I don't know how much the coil heads are individually. I know the older ones were very inexpensive, something like $1 or $2 each. But as far as this, I hope, and if the company hears this, I really hope that you guys sell these in bundles of 3. So maybe sell 3 times whatever, but sell 3 at a time, in not just 1 at a time, so you have to buy 3, if that makes any sense. I really hope they kind of think about this, but I'm kind of going on a tangent. I'm just really excited about this. As far as the size, I would probably say you're looking at closer to 26 or 25 millimeters as a tank. It's a very large tank, very round. If you see it sitting here on this Sigali 75 watt, it is kind of overlapping the Sigali 75 watt by just a hair. I believe it is at about a 5 mil juice capacity. I can't remember. There was very limited packaging on this, so there's not a lot of information as far as what's going on with this. But because I've used the ceramic wicks on the other ones quite a bit, I can kind of just look at it and know what it is. So yeah, we're reading at about 0.48 ohms, and I can vape it at about 40 watts with no issues. I have a 50-50 blend in here. I've also used a 70 blend, and it works also. But let's have a vape, and you'll be very impressed on this ceramic wick. So, super clouds, super vapor reduction, crisp flavor. This is easily the best flavor I've tasted out of the majority of tanks on the market. The thing is with the ceramic, it's such a different sensation. You're just getting pure vapor flavor. You're not getting any, you don't taste any bit of cotton. You don't taste, that kind of rattliness that's in most coil heads, the vertical coil heads. And even after vaping on this for, this is probably a week straight of vaping on this, no nasty hits, no dry hits. I never get a dry hit, even with long pulls, 4 to 5 second pulls, no dry hits. Just like I showed you on the first ceramic wick that I showed you, if you watched that video, 10-second pull, no dry hits. It's just remarkable. And as far as the temperatures for ceramic is way higher. As far as singeing point is extremely higher than most of your popular metals right now. And ceramic has been used as a heating element, just like Kanthal has been used as a heating element. So ceramic wick, Kanthal wrapped around it. So it's basically replacing the cotton with a tube, a hollow ceramic tube, and there's 3 of those hollow ceramic tubes in there. I'll dive down and I'll show you, but I'm just really impressed with this, and yeah, big shout out to Ceravape for just coming up with something new, something interesting. So let's have another vape, dive down, and talk about it, or look at it. Alright, so here is the Soter, the CB tank Soter by Ceravape. So I don't really have any packaging for this. They basically sent this in a package, a tight wrap package and stuff. I think it's still kind of in the works. So this is just basically what it is. As far as the diameter of this, let's look at a, what do I have laying around here? Something that's 22 millimeters. I believe this is 22 millimeters. So, as you can see, it's much larger. I would say probably 26, 27. Here is like your Sigeli 75 watt. If you set it down on there, it overlaps that by just a tiny bit. So I don't think it's as wide as, say, the Aspire or the Aspire Atlantis Mega. The Mega one, I don't think it's that big. I think it's a little bit smaller than that, but it's pushing that limits. As far as, what it looks like, your airflow is pretty big. You have about 3 millimeters in height by probably 4 or 5, probably 5 by 3, and you have it on both sides. As far as the drip tip, so this is a very tall drip tip. Now, I tried to take this top part out because it kind of looked like just an adapter, but it's not. So this is just one drip tip. It has some adjustable airflow on the drip tip, some O-rings, and a decent bore. Nothing crazy. There is your drip tip connection. Now, if you look on the very top, it says Ceravape on the top. And over here, they sent it to me and actually engraved my name, Cloudy Vape, on there. So that is pretty cool. Now these O-rings right here, they are replaceable. They did send different colors, so that is cool. You have ways to get different colors, but you're still going to have that blue Ceravape with, a pink O-ring or whatever you pick. Looking at the bottom, it says Soter, a few different other markings, designed and manufactured by Ceravape. This is a press fit pin right there. And along the base, you have a little bit of grooves right there. You also have a little bit of texturing right there to adjust your airflow. So the airflow does adjust all the way around, and as you adjust one side, it will adjust the other side. Now, looking at the top section, this is kind of cool because it just pops off like an O-ring, and it is pretty darn snug. So you're not really going to have that falling off. You can pull it like that, but still, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on that. And there is your little top fill mechanism. So these smaller holes are what you actually fill into. These are kind of just rails to adjust and open them. So if you see like that, close, open, close, open. And so as they're open, you look right down in there and you can fill your juice right there. These are like 3 millimeter heads or 3 millimeter holes to fill it in. And that is that. So now looking at the rest of this tank, it is built 304 stainless steel, at least from my knowledge. You can unscrew this little bottom part, kind of like your iSub, your by Anakin. So you have 3 coil heads right there, and these are ceramic coil heads. If you see, there's little eyelets in them, and they do just pop out hot swap with an O-ring. So looking at these coils, basically you see that little teeny hole right there. That is your ceramic wicking inside. Looking down right there, it's basically just some horizontal coils with ceramic wicking inside of it, and you can hot swap them and pop them right back in. So there is 3 all around there. Looking down at this is a big pad, basically a big pad of positive connection, and that is only that's only saturated because I basically just took apart one of the coil heads and put my finger in it like that. So really, I've not had a leak at all with this, but just looking at it real quickly, that is that. Now screwing this back on just like that, and that will tighten down your connection. So you can hot swap those coil heads, and if you want to see one of those coil heads taken apart, I'll put a link in the description box below to the other ceramic, the ceramic, what is it called, the CB Tank Mini or CB Tank Nano I reviewed, and you can see more about that. Now unscrewing this, you basically see you have a chimney going down, and you kind of have a triangle of coil heads down in there. You have 3 juice flows that go down and basically fill up that reservoir. Looking at this, you have a glass that can be replaced. Pop this off, and this glass does come off with these O-rings just like that, with the O-rings off right there. Also, here's your chimney, and that's essentially it broken apart. So let me get this O-ring back on. Alright, so put it back together. Let's put this glass on, put this top section on, connect it like this, and then connect this down. So again, if you want to see that the ceramic coil taken apart, go ahead and go over to that other video in the description box below. And that is about all for the up close. I'll see you up on the face part. Alright, so let's talk about the pros and the cons. So as far as, I'm going to just say cons right away. I'm not a big fan of the look of the tank. I think it's very large. It's a very big tank. So as far as sizing, I'm not a big fan of the size. I don't really like all of this kind of texture that's going on around, as you saw in the up close. I'm not a big fan of the texture. The airflow control is decent. It's snug. It's you know, it doesn't give you like multiple holes, but it lets you adjust that Cylon airflow, and you can have wide airflow if you want. Also, not a big fan of the drip tip. I don't really see why you need top drip tip airflow on something like this that you can't really produce a lot of heat. As far as the tank, it doesn't really get hot at all. No issues there. As far as this glass, that's also a con. I would say it should be caged off, at least protect this glass. You know, that is just my thoughts. I don't know if the final product's going to have an extra glass, hopefully, but I would really hope that somehow they can figure out how to protect this glass just a little bit, because you drop it down, it's going to break. It's going to break. Definitely going to break. Really enjoy this top fill. It's a kind of a weird design. I mean, it's just basically, you know, top cap-ish. Basically O-ring just holding on this top cap. You twist open the top fill and it has top fill. So a big plus to them for doing top fill on this. Wicking, perfect. I've not had an issue with up to 70 VG. I have not tried a max VG in this. I know the only reason I tried such a low viscosity or lower viscosity is because I know on the 1.2 ohm head they recommended that on the ceramic you use a thinner viscosity. But because you have so many heads on this, you have 3 heads and such wide open area for it to wick, I believe you could use a higher VG. And like I said, I've used like a very thick, stout 70 VG, and it worked really well. So as far as the performance and what it is, I'm blown away by this one. Absolutely blown away by this one. The flavor is just killer. Like I said, nothing really compares to what this flavor is that I'm getting, and it's easily one of my new favorite tanks. The only thing I'm going to say one more time, like I said in the beginning, I just really hope that they're not going to rip people off on these coil heads, because it takes 3. It actually takes 3 individual coil heads, as you saw up close. So please, Ceravape, please do not gouge people out with these coil heads. Whatever you do, figure out a way to sell them in packs, sell them at a decent price. That way people will keep coming back and picking up these coil heads. I really, and it's one of my what burns my wick, so to speak. What really grinds my gears is when companies come out with a decent, inexpensive tank, and then they just gouge people with the coil heads. It's absolutely, I know it's a way to make money and it's a business, but you know, if you can get a good product at a decent price, people will keep coming back. I'm not a big fan of tanks because coil heads are so darn expensive to replace. So that is that. However, I will back up and say that because this is ceramic and because I've used this tank and their other tanks for quite some time, these last way longer. I'm talking weeks longer than your normal cotton wicked heads. Way better life, way better durability. They just last a long time. So with that being said, if it is at the normal price of most coil heads, it might even be worth it, because you're going to get way more life out of it. If that makes any sense, if it balances out the purchase, then that would make sense also. But let's see what they do without me ranting anymore. I just want to give a big shout out to Ceravape. Thank you so much, my rep Bonnie, for sending this out. It's awesome, and I'm very much enjoying this. They even, as you saw in the up close, they gave me a little engraved thing, which I'm, I'm tickled by it. I am tickled. So I appreciate them. I appreciate being able to check this out and being able to show you this. So that is all. If you have any questions about this, definitely look in the description box below. I'll put a link to their website. And if you want to ask me any questions about this, comment below or email me at cloudy.vape@gmail.com. And that is all. Going to wrap up this review, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please like it. If you like my videos in general, please subscribe. And as always, stay classy and keep vaping.